Hello and welcome to this video for CSC A08, explaining mutability between different variable types in Python and how these properties are visualized in the memory model. This code is just some week 4 example code. It can be found on the course website under week 4 lists and strings.py. So at the beginning of our code we have two variables, one being a string and one being a list with various items in its index. So we'll just initialize them. Alright, so we'll just look through the code. So the first element in the list is mylist0, which is this index 0, which is this 1. The first three elements in my list are mylist0, and this takes the indexes from index 0 to before index 4. So before index 3. So that's the first three elements. And that can be seen here. Print, I can capitalize my string.upper. You'll notice here that when I press forward, you can see that here it's capitalized, but the string itself is not capitalized. This is because strings are immutable, and if you apply changes to a string, it doesn't change the actual string itself. You'd have to, if you wanted to change my string, you'd have to point it to this string itself. So you wouldn't be changing it really, you would just change the pointer to which my string is pointing at. But, and that can be shown again here as we print my string again. But as for my list, if you were to do functions on it, for example reverse, let's try that now, you can see that my list was actually just reversed. The first index is now the last index. The second index is the second last index, and so forth. But you can see here that it doesn't actually print anything. This is because all the changes are just applied to my list, but it doesn't print another list out. Whereas for strings, since strings are immutable, it would print another string out, because you can't change the string itself. Here it says we can't edit strings, so if you try to run this code, mystring, and then at index 3 and you change it to C, this would crash. This is because strings, again, are immutable. But you can edit lists. So we'll just print the list again, just to see what it does. Print the list again just to see the initial state. And we'll change the third index to the list hello, goodbye, and hi. So right now it's currently true. So if we press forward, it will now point to a list with hello, goodbye, and hi. And we can print the list, and we can see that true is no longer there. Now we can even edit lists inside lists. So we know my list 3 refers to this list, and index 0 is just hello, and we're going to be changing it to test. So we'll just do that. There we go, it says test, and then we can print that out. There you go. And that was an example of how immutable types like strings work, and how immutable types like lists work. How mutable types like lists work, as well as how these properties are viewed in the memory model.